Hi, I'm Addie Kidd with Art Jewelry Magazine. I'm going to show you how to make your own sanding sticks. You get a sheet of sandpaper, but it's not much use on its own unless you were to tape it to a flat surface and sand your object on it like that. Not that you would sand a Sharpie, but you know. So you would take your sandpaper, and flip it upside down, and we're going to wrap it around this stick. You can use paint sticks, or you can use what I've got here, which is a little sturdier. I like to have something that doesn't flex quite as much. I've got two I've already made here, and I marked them with the grit that I'll be using. So we'll start with some masking tape and lay it along so it just overlaps the edge of the paper. Lightly press it to the paper without adhering it to the table below, and do the same on the other side. You want it to extend just a little bit beyond your paper. Now flip it over and take your wooden stick, put one end by the very top of the sandpaper so that you have a handle at the other end when you're finished. Wrap the tape up over the ends. And then I like to score the sandpaper. I'm using a burnisher here, but you could use a bone folder or a butter knife just to run a light line along the sandpaper right next to the stick. It makes folding a little bit easier and gives you a nice crisp edge later. So I hold this up tight. I'm going to run another edge. Fold that over, make sure it's nice and tight. I'm adhering the tape as I go. I'm going to score that sandpaper again. And just keep going until you have a stick that's fully wound with your entire sheet of sandpaper. I'm using 1500 grit here. You'll want to make a sanding stick for every grit that you have. That way you can switch between them all as you work. This might take a while, but it's definitely worth it to have a nice, smooth, hard surface to sand your objects with and have them nice and handy on your bench. Be sure you adhere that tape as you go. You don't want it popping up on any side. And it's okay, mine's a little misaligned. It's all right if it kind of spirals off like that a bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then at the very end, make sure everything's smooth and wrap your little last bit of tape around the ends of that. And then before you forget, you're going to make sure to mark what grit it is. Then as you use the sanding stick, you're going to use this side first that has the flap open on it. And you can use either side, but once you use this side, then you're just going to rip the paper off at that side. And then you have a fresh sheet. And keep using that until you're back down to the stick.